Welcome back. He's one of the most important county officials in the county that you rarely hear about. He's the assessor for the largest county in the nation of 10 million people, Jeffrey Prang. We talk about how the cost of living has increased in Southern California. You know it better than anybody else because you assess the value of property here.
That's correct.
What is the state of Southern California?
So we are now in the 9th consecutive year of increases in property valuation since the recession. This past year, property values increased over 6%. LA County is currently valued, the assessed value of LA County is now $1.7 trillion.
That's astonishing.
It is one of the largest assessment rolls, if not the largest in the United States. And it generates about $17 billion in property taxes, which is given to schools, cities, county government agencies, and it funds those services that we all depend on most, such from police to public health to libraries and parks.
So it's good news and bad news. The good news is the property value is going up. So you have property, it's increasing in value.
Right.
The other good news is that the revenue generated from the sales tax is going to police and fire and schools.
That's correct.
The bad news is it's impossible to buy a place.
It's getting more and more unaffordable. What I can tell you, though, we have noticed in the last 12 months that the growth of the increase in the rate of property values has begun to slow. And properties are now sitting on the market longer than they were a year ago at this time. So the property values are still going up, houses are still more expensive, but there do seem to be some soft points in the economy.
But soft points sometimes are considered a bad thing, but in some cases this is considered a good thing. It's hosing off the economy a little bit.
Yes, to slow things down, to make property more accessible is a good thing. As long as it's growing, that means local government can still rely on new sources of revenue to pay for those services we need. I
have to bring this up. You took over for the previous assessor,
right?
John
Noguez.
Noguez, right? Who is apparently going to be prosecuted. He was arrested for bribery or for corruption.
Yes.
The allegation was, and he has pled not guilty, that he was changing the assessed valuation and the taxation on properties of individuals who gave to his campaign. That was the accusation. What have you done to right the ship of this office after the scandal that we saw?
Well, you know, they always say with every crisis, there's always an opportunity, and we really have failed ourselves of the opportunity to rethink the way we do business and to rebuild the office and restore public confidence. We've invested in security. We're investing in a nearly $100 million technology overhaul of the department. We have put in new policies and procedures to ensure that those sort of scandals could never happen again. And I believe that this agency is running better today than it has ever run before. We're providing more value to members of the public, saving more taxpayers on their property taxes, and providing those resources necessary for city councils, school boards, and the county board of supervisors.
And we should point out we're in fire season. There have been fires in the past, the Woolsey fire particularly. If you have had damage as a result of the fire or lost your house, obviously you get a break.
Yes, if you've had damage from the fires, or if there was an earthquake or there was floods, you could be entitled to property tax relief. As long as your damage is over $10,000, you could get temporary tax relief on your property tax bill. You just need to contact us, and we will help apply those.
When's the deadline for that?
There's no deadline. It just is within 1 year of the occurrence of the event.
Right. When it comes to Proposition 13, you have to navigate it more than anybody else.
Right.
How difficult is that?
So my job, I'm not a policymaker, so whether Prop 13 is the right policy or not is more of a policy decision, but I am the administrator of the law. There is a proposal to do split roll, that is to reassess
that will be on the ballot next year.
That proposes to reassess commercial industrial properties differently, to assess them either annually or cyclically. I have to say that it will be a logistical and administrative challenge for my department and other assessors throughout California.
When you say challenge, I think you mean nightmare.
It'll be.
So you will have to split how you assess commercial property and private property.
That's correct. So for instance, right now there's about 160,000 commercial industrial properties, and roughly 4,000 change hands every year. Under split roll, we'll have to reassess all 160,000 annually or cyclically. So it's not a way that our business operations work. So I'm going to have to hire probably 400 additional appraisers. keep in mind, I only have 600 now, and about 1,400 employees total. So hiring the number of people to do the appraisals will be the biggest challenge.
Right. So people understand split roll, and you're not a policy guy, so
Right.
that's up to the voters. It'll be on the ballot. But if you're able to split Prop 13, essentially,
Sure.
so it's not touching homeowners, but businesses, you will be taxed at a higher rate.
Yes, that's correct.
And that will mean more money for the county.
At market rate. So if you bought your business in the year 2000, your property taxes are based similar to what you paid for it in 2000. But under split roll, you would pay what that property is worth in 2020 and beyond.
Which would dramatically change how much businesses, the overhead for business.
Yes, it would.
Right. And you're not taking a position.
It's no, but what my job is to provide fair and accurate information so people can make a good decision. I want everybody to understand what the impacts will be and have their eyes wide open about those impacts so they can make the best decision.
You need to hire more people.
You can hire more people.
And they will have you as the boss. Jeffrey Prang is the assessor for the County of Los Angeles. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Conan.
And I
Great
wish
to
you
be
the best
back.
of luck. I'll have some final comments after this.